How are you? Now, have you ever felt like no matter how many times you write down your habit, it just doesn't stick? Well, that's me right now when it comes to movement and my workouts. I've been trying for weeks, no, actually months, and it's just not happening the way I had planned. So honestly, I've been so tired lately from juggling late night commitments, and I know my health is telling me it's time to reset. So today I'm going to show you how I reordered my habit tracker and move things about and experiment with my workout habit and moving it from late afternoon to the morning, and I'm going to see if that is going to help shift things and make a difference. So if you're ready, let's go. First, let's say hello to who is here today. Hello, Cindy. Nice to see you, my lovely friend. Thank you so much for being here so early. Susan, hello. How are you? Hope you are well. Budgeting Mama, Irene, nice to see you. Thank you so much. Hello, Brenda. Thank you so much. And thank you for your lovely message yesterday in the Plannerets Inner Circle. I love it. Everyone is here. Everyone is saying hello. I want to ask you a favor. I've had this little app or software that I have free access to, but I want to see if it works. So, can you see if you can do me a favor? Pop in the chat where you are tuning in from, city, country, and then that way I want to see if it works. I have the free version, so it's only, I think, the first 10 comments or first location. So do me a big favor. I want to see if it's going to work. If it's not, then I may have to learn about it a little bit more. But let me know, where are you tuning in from? So even if you're a regular plannerette, pop it in the chat. I want to see. I'm going to go to it in a second. It's a little map, and I want to see if it works. We'll see how it goes. Hello, Angela. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. So Susan's in the UK. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I wonder if I put Sydney, whether that might pop up for me. Rapid City, Brenda in South Dakota, Chicago. All right, I'm going to see. If nothing pops up, then we'll move on to the next screen. But do let me know, of course, if you are also watching on replay. Let me know. Of course, the interaction screen that I'm going to show next won't work, but I love knowing where you are tuning in from. So fingers crossed, okay? Stefania is from the Netherlands and Angela in Rome, Italy. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Did it work? Let's see if it worked at all. Yes, look at that. So there's the little, who is there? Who is over here? So it tells me where. So there we go, in Amsterdam, near Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Would that be the Netherlands? See, I told you, this is probably going to also help my little geography as well. I have to see if there's any way that because I can't see what the different countries are with the tiny little. I want to see if I can put, let me see. So, yeah, I just opened it probably not best to open something 5 minutes before you go on air. But let me see if I can, Sydney. I want to see if it's going to show Sydney, Australia on the map. Let me see. Near Amsterdam, indeed, that's me. So just to let you know, it doesn't show your exact location. It's just the name and the, there it is. There's me, M for Marianne. There's me. That's where I am. There you go. Thank you for allowing me to do this. So I'll play around with it a little bit more. So it's nice to see where we are located in parts of the world. And maybe this will help me as well with my geography. Remember how I said, I'm not very good at geography yet. So there you go. Thank you for allowing me to do that. So because I have the free version, this is Stream Alive. It's the free version. I think it's only the first 10 comments, because yeah, after that, then of course I have to pay for the subscription. But thank you. There you are. Look at that. We are all over the world. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really, really appreciate you. And as I said, if you are watching this on replay, type team replay, so then I know you are where you are exactly in the live stream. Steph, hello. I hope you got my message saying that I was thinking of you. I hope you are well. Hope everyone is well. So glad I was able to catch this live for as long as I can. Big hugs to everyone. So Los Angeles. So there we go. Thank you so much. Oh, that it worked. There we go. That's where we all are in the world. Ooh, who's that one in? I see Calgary. Adil, hi, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So there you go. That's where we are all located at the moment. I appreciate it. So, of course, if you are ready, can you drop a heart emoji in the comment in the live chat if you are ready to plan along with me? Okay, so what I'm going to also do, so I'm going to show you how I've moved things around in my habit tracker, but also because today it is Monday, 15th of September here in Sydney, Australia, I will also review the goals that I had set for myself at the beginning of the month. So do a mid-month check-in and see how I am progressing. I'll also show you how I have laid out my daily planner pages when it comes to this priority of mine, which is movement and workout, and needing all the help I can get to get myself on track and get better at making progress with my health and movement. And of course, what I also want to do is I created some new do-it-yourself task card to help prompt me with the new changes I've made in my habits and routines. So today is the first day I've made those changes. They're simple, they're visual, and they will also help keep me stay on track. So make sure you stick till the end to see how that is. Brenda gives me a heart. Thank you. Adil, hello, Los Angeles. All right, I think I'm up to date with everybody. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so now sometimes habits don't stick. And this is not because you're failing, because I know for a long time when my habit tracker is empty and I haven't ticked the boxes or I haven't colored in the boxes, I used to equate it as me failing. But because as I'm learning along my own patterns, it could be that the order of the habits and routines you have set for yourself may be the thing that needs adjusting. So let me know, do you use a habit tracker for yourself in your planner, whether it's something like this, a full page, or just on a weekly basis or even a daily basis? Let me know in the chat right now if you use a habit tracker in your planning system. Steph says, I'm coming back online, so I haven't been able to check email right now. I'll reach out to you later. So a pic of your new file of facts. Need to see all the replays. Yes, I've had a few different live streams and replays on on YouTube. So yes, you've got there's a lot for you to catch up on. So Brenda says, yes, I use this habit tracker. She has the ultimate planner bundle, so I love that. So hopefully and Steph also used this one. If whether you're using my habit tracker or a habit tracker that you have in your current planning system, hopefully you will get some ideas and inspiration that if you're like me, there are certain habits and routines that's just not sticking. Do not think you've failed. Do not think that you're not good at planning or habit tracking. It just might be that you got to change things around. So if things aren't working the way they are and you've tried and tried, then it may just be a simple adjustment of moving things earlier in the day, later on in the evening, or sometimes, splitting it half in the morning, half in the afternoon. Okay, so thank you for letting me know, those who use a habit tracker in their planning system. So let's have a look at let me just remove this one. So we've got a bit of space. So this is my habit tracker for September. And look what I have done. I'm going to remove some of my divider tabs so then it's not, what do you call it? Shining on the screen. So this is my September habit tracker. This is the first 14 days. As I know already that first week I do really well on my habit tracker. New week, new start, a new month. And then of course the second week there is some empty spaces here. And that's because I think this was the 5th and 6th week of an online course that I was doing with Ali Abdal, and pretty much 2 to 3 times a week for the last 6 weeks. There was live workshops, and because he's in Hong Kong, I think, for majority of the workshops, it was my midnight. And so I was fine with it for the first 4 weeks, but then it started hitting me. Remember how I said, you can't sustain something for too long unless you're making sure everything else in your wellness and well-being is in place. And yesterday I would normally have a live brain dump with my private membership session, but I had to prioritize my sleep, and I'm so glad because here I am, nice and up and alive for my Monday live stream, your Sunday afternoon and evening. So I knew the things that I wasn't doing well at was either getting myself outside, so that's that line there, or doing the workout. I said I wanted to do Pilates because it's a little bit, was a Pilates beginners, 3 days a week thing. And I only did it once a week. Still not bad because that is still progress, right? So I'm learning to have that internal dialogue that it's still okay. I mean, here I had some, here we go, 11 push-ups and squats and stretching. So I have added tiny little doable, actionable habits when it comes to my movement and working out. However, I want to be better at it, okay? So what I did, I actually printed a new habit tracker because I thought I was going to want to start a new one and then just, start from the 15th. But then I didn't want to take away the progress I had made in the first 14 days. So what I did, so instead of starting over, I just cut this little piece of the habit tracker plus the first 2 days, because I used the first 2 days to be the tab that helps glue it in place. Can you see what I did there? So what I did, and you don't have to print a new habit tracker. You can just get a scrap piece of paper or anything like that. So I wrote out, so these were my habits and routines in the order for the first 14 days of September. And then I wanted to move the get outside earlier in the day. Okay, so my get outside would normally be at 3 o'clock, 3 p.m., but I want to do it even before 9 o'clock. So that's the major change I'm making in my habit tracker for the second half of September. So like I said, reprinted it, and can you see where the fold is? So here, I don't know if you can see. So I just cut the first 2 days along with it and then glued it in place. So then that way it fits nicely. I can start from here. I could start marking off what I have completed based on this little new set of order. Okay, so that's a really good way that if you are currently tracking your habit, and today I'm going to show you how I do a mid-month check-in, and you can see right away based on what you have checked or colored in or completed, which habits that matter to you for the month of September, but you may not be hitting the mark. What can you do? It's not so much that you have failed or you're not good at it. Maybe it's just a simple time of the day. All right. Hi, Tracy. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. Okay, so that is a really great way for you to go and adjust things midway. So if you can see right away, okay, that there are certain habits that you are not hitting the mark, don't wait until either the start of a new month. This is this thing that we have, that, oh, I'll start on Monday, or I'll start next week, or I'll start in October. No, we can start today. Or for those of you in the afternoon and evening, you can start tomorrow. And you can either print a new habit tracker and just start from the 14th or the 15th. Okay, so don't wait, because then that's 2 weeks, 2 and a bit week, that you can start making adjustments right now. And the adjustments you make are either move it to a different time of day, or maybe you have to make it the actions smaller, making it, instead of half an hour, maybe just 5 minutes. Instead of 5 times a week, maybe just 2 times a week. Okay, so make adjustments as you go, so then you can start tallying wins in your habit tracker. So that's a really great way, is go just cut a piece of paper, glue it midway, and just start from now. All right. I give up on habit tracking, never consistent with them. Tracy, I wasn't consistent for the first 3 years that I started habit tracking, but I kept at it. Because then it's not so much, again, like I said, it may not be that you're not consistent with the habits or tracking your habits. It's just maybe there are some habits that you put lower in the day when maybe you should put it higher. So if whatever system you have, though, is going well for you, then you don't have necessarily have to have a habit tracker. If you're doing all the tasks and routines and wellness, well-being and self-care routine that you have set for yourself, and you're doing well, putting it on a daily planner or a weekly planner, like I always say, you do what works well for you and the way your brain works. But if there are certain habits and routines that you want to get better at, a habit tracker is not only visual, it shows you the progress you've made, and it shows you, what, this month I don't have the capacity to do that. I'll wait until next month. So if the habit tracking is not working for you, or something else is working, then that's fantastic. But yeah, so you need to make sure you do your planning system with what works for you. But for me, did habit tracking in my bullet journaling for about 3 to 4 years, and after the first week, nothing. After the second week, nothing. But I kept trying and trying again. And even now, as you can see, it's not about being 100% perfect. It's just about knowing, how can I build upon what I'm doing now to get more effective with the habits that I'm saying to myself is important, to ensure that I'm creating balance in my life. For me, the reason why I changed it was for my movement and working out. Okay, so first half of the month, I had set, like I said, get outside in the afternoon. So I'm moving it early in the morning. Where is that? There it is. Okay, so before 9 a.m. And my Pilates workout. So I'm still going to do some Pilates workouts, but I have put that, where is my movement? Here we go. So movement. So the Pilates in the past would be later in the evening. So I'm going to do it mid-afternoon. So I'm just moving the movement earlier on in the day, hence why I have updated my little habit tracker with a little piece of paper that I've just glued down with the new order of habits that I'm doing. So if things aren't working the way you have them at the moment, small changes. Just try either making the habit small. Instead of 30 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Instead of evening or afternoon, let's try morning. And I always move things around because, again, it'll depend on the lifestyle you're at. So if you're busy at work and you know you got to get up early and you don't have time to do a workout in the morning or whatever habits you have, then you may have to move things around. So these are not set in stone, and I'm changing as I go depending on what else is on my to-do list. It's on within my energy, within my well-being capacity. Okay, so really good. I'm trying to build a system. Honestly, I wing things, and a lot of us do, and that's okay because we don't know. New things always come up, and so what may have worked a year ago may no longer work right now. Or you might just go, you know what? I'm going to try something again from 2 years ago because we were different 2 years ago. I know from my Plannerettes Inner Circle membership, when we have our Zoom session, I just through talking with the Plannerettes there, I'm discovering more and more different things about me. Oh, now I get it. My brain works that way because I have given myself this dialogue from when I was 10, thinking I'm not good at something. And so for 30 years, I have thought I wasn't good at something. I went, let's clear the slate. Let's try something new. So it's a matter of removing the we can't or I'm not good at it. We can say I'm not good at it yet, or I'm going to try something different. But I love that you are, winging things is better than not doing anything at all. So I'm proud of you, Tracy, and you should be too. You are doing the best you can with whatever system you have at the moment and within the capacity that's within your, what you can manage at the moment. All right. So I'm going to get outside for a walk. That's a habit. So let's see. I did that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 50% of the first 2 weeks, I got myself outside. So that is a big win for me. And then, of course, it's very important for me to get myself outside during the day. Because a few months back, I had blood tests, and my vitamin D levels were very, very low. So a lot of these things here, the get outside, when I did get myself outside, a lot of these were actually, for most part, already during when it was getting dark or during the night. So of course you can't really get vitamin D in the evening. So that is another reason why I'm moving my get outside earlier in the day or first thing in the morning. So you know how they said that what is it, the circadian rhythm, that I heard that when you get sunlight or daylight first thing, it actually helps reset your body's natural clock. So it's that circadian rhythm. And so basically, the morning light, so the sunshine on your face, and then that bright morning light tells your brain, hello, it's time to wake up and be alert. Okay, so because I work, for those of you that work indoors majority of the time, and you travel to and from work in your car, and you get home in the evening and you get to work when it's the sun maybe is just about to rise, we're not getting that sunlight, and so we are not resetting our own natural body's clock, internal clock, to say morning, be alert, be awake, and then evening, that's why a lot of people also say turn your lights into warm lights in the evening, and that's why blue light's not good for your eyes, because sunlight is warm. It's the warmer tones. So basically morning light is something I really need to help wake me up, and to then that way it'll set my body clock, and then that way the body clock, when it comes to the evening, will go, okay, it's now that time of the day that you have to wind down and go to sleep. So for me at the moment, I'm like up at 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 4 a.m. So my sleep pattern is all over the place. And one of the ways I know I can help myself is to get that internal clock set to wake me up and be alert. And that can be done by getting myself outside with sunlight. So yes, I've been getting myself outside halfway or 50% of the time, but a lot of them were during the evening. So yeah. Irene says, I use a habit tracker more like a record that tells me when did I last do it. Fantastic. I love that. And that's because, of course, again, it is a visual tracker of when things get done. Hello, Michelle. Can't wait for daylight savings to change over. It will also be so much easier. Exactly. I love that too. And so I'm fortunate enough that in my content creation work that I can drive my own, work time. And even that, I'm not being very good at it yet. They say women tend to lack vitamin D. Exactly. Because you know why? Because we're always inside caring for others. And, studies have shown that women do free care, caregivers 3 times more than men. And so that's probably why our vitamin D levels, because we're inside nurturing, we're in the home, we're at the work, we're looking after the children. And so we're not outside as much. And so that is very important for us to get ourselves outside. And that's why I'm moving it earlier in the day. So hopefully this is going to allow me to be more consistent with getting outside in the morning or during daylight, and then this will give me a better chance to then fall asleep more easily at night because my internal clock is sort of set at that rhythm, the circadian rhythm, the wake up and now it's time to go to bed. But because I'm, napping here and there, I'm up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. for my online course, my sleep is all over the place. So this is also getting yourself outside. So I know for me, what we're talking about at the moment is movement, but movement and getting yourself outside is going to be great habit for all of us because it's also about helping our energy during the day. And then remember how we talked about, if you follow me, we talk about instead of time blocking, energy blocking, do work when you have the most energy. And if we are helping our body, not only with movement, getting ourselves outside, but getting sunlight, vitamin D, and helping our internal clock, set for the morning, it's also gonna boost our energy and our mood. Because I did a little experiment there, a trial for a while where for 21 days, and I think I did do for 30 days. I moved, here we go, 30 days, 32 days in a row, I moved and got myself outside. And that also helps with our mood. And so I don't know about you, my mood can go from 0 to 100 if I'm, haven't eaten, if I'm angry, if I'm lonely, if I'm tired. So getting yourself outside is also going to be a great way to get our energy and our mood up. Oh, hello, Marcus. Can I tell you? I was thinking about you this morning, just where I was thinking I haven't seen you in a long while. And here you are, my darling friend. So Marcus, how's your walking going? Actually, you're such an inspiration. And oh my goodness, thank you so much for the wonderful super sticker. Thank you. But how is that? Maybe I have manifested you to come on because I was thinking about you and I was going, I've got to go reach out and say hello because I haven't seen you in a long while. And here you are. Here you are right in front of me. I appreciate you and I miss you so much. Oh, thank you, Marcus. Thank you so much. Man, how is that? One of the things that I have been doing, yes, I need to get back. You need to get back into the game. I'm sure you've been busy with work as well. So make sure you give yourself credit because I think you've done such a great job managing and juggling so many stuff. But I have been doing this, mantras in the morning that good things are going to come my way. Today's going to be a good day. And here I was thinking about you, Marcus, and here you are. Yes, looks like I was summoned. Marcus, I was thinking about you, and here you are. What else? What else can I think about? Right? Appreciate you being here, my friend. That is just wonderfully kooky because I haven't seen you in a long while, and wow, and here you are. All right. So, question. Well, let me see if I've got my question. Right. So, hands up if you've ever reordered your habits that you're midway. Like, have you changed things around, second week or halfway through? Let me know if you have ever reordered. What's the other word for reordered? I can't think of the other way. Your daily routine to make it work better. And guess what? You are allowed to, right? It is your planner, it is your life. If things are not working out, just because I think sometimes we fall into the trap of, everyone says be a morning person, or you try this 5 a.m. 5 a.m.ers, I think they call themselves, start early in the morning, or we have this internal dialogue that I'm not a morning person. You don't have to do your morning routine in the morning. We just call it morning routine because that's the things that most people do in the morning. You can do them in the evening. Yes, it's just the same way that, people have cereal at night. Cereal's not just a breakfast food, right? Yeah, Brenda says, yes, I reorder weekly sometimes. And sometimes you got to do that because especially if the work that you do as well is not, your traditional 9 to 5, you come in at 10 o'clock, you got to do these certain tasks and then there's lunch. If you're the type of work that you do or is, changes every day as well, it's not the same thing again and again, then of course we have to make sure we allow our habits and routines to ebb and flow and go along with the flow. And so if certain things are rigid in our life, then we have to make sure the habits and routines are aligned with that. But then if our work as entrepreneurs or as content creators or as creatives are, different all the time, then we got to make sure things are also lining up. So, like the little river, right? Following it. So I love that. That is, we should recognize that as a strength, not the. I know because I know Brenda. Hopefully, it's okay for me to say this, but I know because Brenda and I are the same that we have this thing that I'm always changing my mind. I'm changing my planners. I'm changing my setup. It's because our lives are not rigid, right? As content creators and in the work that we do, if it's different, then we got to have everything else flow with it. So actually changing it means that you have recognized that you can't keep things the same. And then, one week it might be different, and another week, maybe you have to create a different routine template. All right, this is a busy week, so this week it's this habit and routines in order. So I love that. I love that. Yes, organize mine all the time. Hello, Ronnie Cat. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. All right, so I love that. So change it as you go. If things aren't working out, although I have to say this because I know I fall victim of this, is that I change too much. Try and stick to it for a little bit and only change one or two things at a time. So then that way, that if things aren't working, you can pinpoint right away because, let's be detectives or let's be scientists and experiment, but change only one thing at a time or a couple of things and not overhaul, because then you won't know which one's not working and which one's not. So I love that. So thank you for letting me know who he changes their planners all the time. Now, also the reason why I'm going to make sure I am walking in the morning, getting myself outside, getting that morning daylight and that sunshine is for my health. Okay, so I got my blood pressure result back last week, and it shows that I have mild hypertension. Now, I turned 50 at the beginning of the year, and my mum's side of the family, they have, history of high blood pressure. Mum takes medication for high blood pressure. My younger brother is 4 years younger, also has his, high blood pressure. So it comes with age anyway, because of course, your body's changing. But I've heard that getting quality sleep, so remember that in the morning, sunshine, going to help set your circadian rhythm or your internal body clock. So that's going to help me sleep, because I'm not sleeping as well, right? So I know getting better quality sleep, which is a knock-on effect of me getting myself outside. See how these tiny little things that we're changing can help have a knock-on effect. So maybe if you too are having difficulty time sleeping, maybe you can make sure you can add getting outside. And they say even like a 5 minute worth of sunshine. You may not have to go and walk. Just if you are lucky enough to have a nice backyard or a balcony that you get sunlight, just, or opening the blinds or the windows and letting that sunshine in, that can help set your internal clock. Okay, and so that internal clock will then go and later on in the evening say, okay, it's now based on my internal clock, it's now time to sleep. Okay, so that can really help with things like lowering my stress on my body and supporting my heart health, which I think might also play a role, of course, in managing my blood pressure. Now, I'm not a medical expert. Okay, so of course I have booked to see my doctor next week. He's on holidays, right? To make sure I get the guidance that I need to make sure that I'm doing everything in a smart way. But I know at the moment walking, steadily, I'm not like doing power walking or anything like that, but walking, getting myself outside, getting morning sunlight are the factors that can help my health and support my well-being. So for you, what this could mean is one little thing like getting yourself outside, adding movement, might slow, again, I'm not a medical expert, but we've all read these different things, right? That it can help your health, but it might also help if you get anxious thoughts or you get stressed a lot or your mood is not regulated or you're having trouble sleeping. So one tiny little habit that you can add into your routine is a really great way to start small and start slowly. Sunshine in the morning is important, and I'll even work even when it's foggy. That's right. Yeah, so even if it's a cloudy day, you still get that internal clock reset, and of course with vitamin D as well. Yes, well, thank you, Marcus. Thank you for letting us know that. Okay, so it's about setting up a routine that supports me and my overall health, because when my health and when my energy and when my sleep, and which will help lower stress, lower my anxious thoughts, and that can get me frustrated, that can get me sad, that can get me angry. One small habit can then may affect all the other things, which then can affect your productivity. You're not in a fight, flight, or freeze mode, so which means your cognitive thinking or your decision making will get switched back on. So if you're like been looking at your task list and it's like it's never ending, or you're procrastinating, little things like this. If the only thing that you can track for the next 2 weeks is just getting yourself outside, that is a great start to helping your well-being, your wellness, and looking after yourself, right? Taking the time for a break and not be in front of your work or your computer all the time, or our phone, right? I've been probably a lot of this too is I've been on the phone and doom scrolling and watching, endless worth of whatever videos. All right. So hopefully this gives you an idea that if and when things in your current planning system is not working out and you've tried it for a couple of weeks, maybe instead, two things you can do. You can either lower the bar and lower the expectation and not do 5 days a week of workout, maybe once a week, twice a week. Instead of 30 minutes walking outside, walk for 5 minutes, or just go and sit in your backyard, even if it's a foggy day, right? Or what was the other thing? Or adjusting when you are doing it part of your day. And if you have a tracker, like I said, do a little, cut up a little piece of paper, rewrite everything in the order, try it and see how you go. Okay, so those are the little things you can do if at the moment, like me, certain habits are not sticking. You are not failing. It just might be you got to do some tiny little tweaks and adjustments. Okay, so if you are getting value so far from what I've said about habit tracking and maybe just adding walking outside or getting sunshine, let me know. Hit the like button. So then that way, of course, I know that, it's hitting as well. And we got to help each other with this and, and not beat ourselves up when things are not going well. All right. Love it. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay. So hit that thumbs up button if you are getting value so far, and knowing that if your own habit tracker is looking a little bit empty, you're not failing. All right. You're doing a great job with whatever capacity and energy you have in the moment. All right, so what do we do now? It's now time to do a mid-month check-in. So for those of you that have been following me for the September setup, at the beginning I did, so I use my Wheel of Life habit tracker. Let me just pop that. This is part of the Ultimate Planner Bundle printable in my A5 size. So based on Zig Ziglar's Wheel of Life, 7 key areas of focus in no particular order: mental, physical, spiritual, family or home, finance, career, and social. So you want to be doing one little tiny habits and routine and actionable steps in each to get that balance. Now, it's not about doing everything 100%, but if there are certain areas of your life that you might be neglecting for a long while and then you want to make changes, then a Wheel of Life will sort of help highlight what priorities you want to focus on if you set goals for yourself monthly, weekly, or for quarterly, or for the year. So these things, even though I do have I've written 7 habits and routines that I want to look at, a lot of them I already do pretty habitually, like, meditating. I don't do it 100%, but it's something that I've been doing using an app, I think, since 2018. So it's taken me a long while to get really, a consistent basis. So even though I've written 7, my major focus was, I think, my physical and also my home and tracking. So I had 3, and then the rest is I already do on a daily or consistent basis. So we're going to look at how I have been doing so far. So based on the habit tracker, now where is my habit tracker? Let's have a look. I'm going to go and see how well I've been doing with the habits and routines that I said was important to me for the month of September. So we're doing a mid-month check-in. Okay, so let me just quickly go through. So for mental, I said I wanted to keep reading the book Lean Learning by Pat Flynn and continue the 1K challenge course. So that's just finished. Physical is stretch in the morning, 11 push-ups and 11 squats, and then Pilates 3 times per week. You saw that maybe I haven't been doing that as well. Spiritual is doing my meditation using the Headspace app. Home is tidying up, in the morning, 5-minute tidy up, because then that helps also keep the stress level down, because our brain always sees chaos as if it's a threat, that something's wrong, and so stress level goes up. So keeping a neat, tidy home or apartment for me is an important part, so it doesn't set me off and have cranky mum. Finance, I wanted to start tracking our expenses again for because I hadn't been doing that. Career, so which is my YouTube and my Instagram, and then social is making sure I touch base with loved ones, friends, and my community on a consistent basis to ensure that I'm not feeling lonely, because I can get sad sometimes and I can get lonely, but I've found that connecting with community like you guys, my friends on FaceTime or DM or Messenger is really important. Okay, so I had written those routines in my habit tracker here. And so what I'm going to do, and this is, I'm only doing this, I'm a bit of a math nerd and I love it. Math nerd is good. It's a good thing. I like to use percentages only so then I can color in my Wheel of Life pie chart. So here is a pie chart with 7 little pies. So based on the 7 key areas of focus, and each one has, I think, little 10 segments. So that's why I'm using percentages. So then I just can color it. So I'm just using percentages and numbers so then I can color in my pie. So this is not a test, okay? So if you use this yourself, like something like this, it is not a test. You are not failing. You are not, if it's only you're coloring only a little bit of the bar, it's only a visual. I'm only using percentages so then I know how much to color in. After that, it's just visual. It'll highlight, once you've seen me do it, it'll highlight which area maybe I didn't do as well. And that is for the purpose of asking myself, does that habit and routine, is that a priority for the second half of September? Things might have changed. I might have gotten busy and I went, oh no, it's okay that I'm not doing that as well because something else came up. Again, it is not a visual that it is a pass or fail. It's just to show me, because I'm a visual learner, all right, that, oh, okay, maybe let's say I haven't gone outside as much, and then I'm saying that health is important to me, and so I need to make sure I make that a priority for the rest of September. Okay, so that's all it is, but you'll see as we go along. So the first one that I normally do, based on my little Wheel of Life color coding, let me see. So then it looks the same. Just so then my Wheel of Life pie chart looks the same. So that's the weekly basis, okay? I'm just going to follow the what color, so then it looks the same. So meditation, okay? So I said I wanted to meditate on a daily basis. Where's meditation? So there's meditation. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, all right. So 5 divided by 4 out of 14 days. So all I'm doing is 5 divided by, so over 14. And really, it's, percentages times 100. So it's about, let's say, 36%. So about, So I'm just going to color in 1, 2, 3, about there. 3.5 little segments of this pie chart. Okay. And then that's it. That's all that number is for. Nothing else. I'm not saying I failed this. Oh, and then it'll make me review why that might be only 5 out of 14. The next one is home. Okay. Did I do my 5-minute tidy up in the morning? Let's have a look. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I'm just counting the dots, how I've completed it again. So 5 out of 14 is about 36%. So I'm going to color in 3.5 of this pie. Okay, so I only did about 3.5, 35%, or that much of a pie. The next one is my top priorities. So a lot of my top priorities is my content creation. So where's my top priorities? Work on top priority. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so 11 divided by 14 is about 78%. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, that percentage is only so I know how much to color of my pie. Now, if you don't want, if you don't do percentages or you don't use a habit tracker, the way you can use a wheel of life or any progress or any chart that you want is maybe a satisfaction. I've seen people do satisfaction rating out of 10. How satisfied were you in actioning your meditation? You could say 5 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 6 out of 10. So you can also do it that way. But because I have a habit tracker and my satisfaction rating, I'll probably just go, yeah, I was good. This gives me a little bit more of a detailed result. Okay. So then my exercise. Now my exercise and working out is a little bit different. I'm going to, because I'm going to add up all the amounts of workout that movement. So I stretched in the morning. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 out of 14. I did 11 push-ups and 11 squats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 14. I'm just going to get the average, okay? Did I get myself outside? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 14. And then Pilates, 2 out of 14. So this is just me getting an average because instead of, because this is stretching, 11 push-ups, 11 squats, get outside, and what do you call it? So 10, I'm just going to do 10 plus 9 plus 7 plus 2 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4. So average about 50. Yeah, I'll be happy with that. About 50% of the time I moved or did some workout. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to color that in there. That sounds about right. Again, it doesn't have to be exact science. If you go, you know what, some of those workouts were really intense. Maybe you might want to color in a little bit more. Again, this is just the way I'm doing this. You can go and review your own progress the way your brain works, okay? My brain works with numbers, visuals, graphs. It's just, I need to see things visually for me to be able to process it quickly in my head. So the next one is learning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Although, so this is what 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 5. 50% of the time I did my learning and online course. There are a couple of workshops I need to watch the replays on. Okay, so far, see how you can see visually. I'm on top of my, content creation. That's YouTube and Instagram, and that's pretty obvious. What about my social? Am I connecting with friends and loved ones? So connect. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what did we say was 10 divided by 14 is about 7%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this habit, the connecting with loved ones, whether DMing, chatting, messenger, FaceTiming my parents, this is a habit and routine I have worked very hard at because I have kept myself isolated from people from a long time, for a very long time, thinking no one wants to hear my struggles and my challenges. For those of you who may be new to my channel, I have two sons, an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old who's on the autism spectrum. The 16-year-old's on the autism spectrum, and we homeschool him. And I homeschooled him from 2019 to end of 2022, 19, 2020. So for 4 years, he and I were here at home, of course, through lockdown and through COVID, and and but at the beginning of 2023, I mentally broke down because probably I wasn't putting myself on top of the list. I was making sure I was looking after my son, learning how to homeschool, and all the different challenges and struggles that come with that, on top of my own internal, anxious thoughts and moods that go up and down, and not putting myself first. And so for a long time, I've kept to myself because I thought, who would want to know about my challenges and my struggles, and I might be burdening, my family with it. And I have found that that is not the way to go. It's not so much that I have to share what's going wrong with my life, but I needed to make sure that I reached out, not just for them, but more so for me. So if you are finding yourself feeling sad, alone, lonely, and isolating yourself, it's not so much that when you reach out you got to tell them all the things that's gone wrong. It's just saying hi. It's just sharing funny memes, funny videos, sending a new heart emoji, saying thinking of you. So if ever anybody pops in your head, just send, and you're not in the you're not the way you communicate, you don't want to be too, woo woo or too lovey dovey or anything like that. Sending them a funny meme that you think they might like, or funny video. They call that pebbling. You know how penguins grab little pebbles and give it to each other. So that's pebbling, is when you find something funny that you think someone else might like, or that's heartwarming, or anything like that. That is a good way to increase your social connections, because we are not supposed to be lone beings. Okay, so as humans, we're supposed to be part of a tribe, we're supposed to be part of a community, because we survive a lot better that way. Right, so it's still that prehistoric days of caveman days, that let's hunt together, let's look after each other. And that's why at the moment we can get stuck into for us content creators, or for those who are social media, or even when we get pings on our phone that we got a message, those things are play on our need to be liked, to be wanted, to be needed. And that's why, we get addicted to every time we see a little notification. Oh, what's happening? Oh, a new video. Oh, a new, because that's our way of connecting. But try and see if you can also connect in a loving way. Hello, Denise. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you being here. So, connections is one of the great ways as well that will help bring your mood up. So, if my community here is one of the ways that helps, that's part of connection. That's you typing in the chat, Cindy saying hello to Denise and Ronica and everybody else, welcoming each other. That is connection. That is part of your social well-being. And so try and look for those more often than not. Go to tomorrow I'm going to see, there's I think a watercoloring community get-togethers for women over 50, right? So meeting new friends. It's hard for us older, as we get older, it's harder to make friends because we're no longer in a school community, we're no longer in a college community. For those of us that maybe have already retired, or work at home, right? So we're not getting ourselves out there enough to nurture our social connections. So that is one of the important things, and that's why it's part of the wheel of life. 7 key areas of focus is don't be on your own, right? And I'm not saying that this is like the own is that you have to have a partner, you have to boyfriend, girlfriend, husband. It's about creating a community for you that gets you. So if you're a little bit quirky, hang out with quirky people. If you're someone who loves planning and using washi tapes and stickers, hang out with me. That's what I love, okay? So that is a habit and routine that I have worked hard at, because in the past I used to go, why is anyone not reaching out to me? Why is no one texting me? Why is no one calling me? because for about 20 years, I didn't reach out to people. You know, I just kept to myself. And now I've started building that habit, slowly but surely, creating my own network of friends again. Okay, because I work from home. Like, I'm in front of a camera, in front of lights, and so it's I'm less likely to get myself out there. So let me know if social connection is one of the habits that you're going to add into your habits and routines for the next 2 weeks of September, or if that is already part of the things that you do on a day-to-day or regular basis. So let me know in the chat, and of course, if you are watching on replay, let me know. Are you intentionally planning in your planner to connect? Okay, so that I'm very proud of that. So that is a win for me. And then the other one is for finance is I wanted to start tracking our expenses. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes, 9. Again, this percentage is only so then I know how much to color of my pie. So about 65%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About that much. Okay. Again, doesn't have to be precise. It's just this is not a pass or fail. This is just a visual for me to go based on the things I said is important to me for the month of September. So I created habits and routines, just small, doable, actionable steps, not grand, not like, read 10 books. And it's not like do 5 45-minute workout. It's not about going to a spiritual retreat. It's not about cleaning my home, 5 times a week, right? It's just small, doable, actionable steps. So based on how well I did, that I said to myself I wanted to do for the first 2 weeks of September, and my habit tracker, this is where my habit tracker helps me, says that. Okay, so for the first half, I didn't do my meditation and the cleaning. And so, okay, then I'll ask myself, is meditation in the morning, so that's, starting off my day with breathing, slowing my heart rate, just focusing on me first thing rather than looking at the phone and, letting all this other news that's coming in. Is that the thing that I allow to be the first thing that I think of? So probably yes, because you know why? I go on my phone and it's like, I wake up and then it's the first thing I check. So maybe not to do that. So is that going to be a top priority for me for the next 2 weeks of September? Yes. So then I'm going to put here, top priority. So then I'm keeping it top of mind that, make sure, all right, so meditate. So that is a top priority. So this wheel of life just is highlighting, okay, we didn't do that as well. Is that still a priority? So it's just a matter of review and question. And then tidying up, yes, okay, because when things are out of order, so this is just 5-minute tidy up. So I'll just pick a spot, whether it's the dining table, whether it's my desk, whether it's cleaning the bathroom counter or cleaning the mirror or putting laundry away, right? Just 5 minutes. I'll put my timer on my watch or on a little clock. That is important because our brain is always trying to filter to see what is out of order, okay? And so if it sees that some things are not in place, somehow our brain can trigger that as, why is that not where it should be? What's going on? Is there a threat, right? Do I have fight, flight, or freeze? So that's all it is. So if you are feeling like, you're stressing out, have a look at your environment. Have you set a nice little place for you to do your planning? Have you created lovely, light, lovely smelling candles? 5-minute tidy up. Okay, so that is still important for me for the second half of September. So there's my tidy up there. So as you can see, I know why a lot of these here, this part is because I was starting to burn out because I was doing my online course, wake up at midnight, stay up, and then of course I'm wide awake and I probably drank coffee at midnight. So I'm also making sure not to drink that much coffee for the rest of September. What else? What else does my wheel of life tell me? Well, of course, for me, the workout. I need to movement and movement plus go for walk. Okay, go for a walk. So I'm just going to keep my top priorities to 3. Okay, so don't overwhelm yourself with, even though, yes, there are 7, habits and routines that I would like to do for September. I'm just keeping it top priority. But you know why? I'm keeping it only to 3 because I have to give myself breathing room, breathing space. Because if something else unexpected, as we know, that's what life does, right? If we overwhelm ourselves with too much already before the next 2 weeks starts, when things do come up, and they will, we're not giving ourselves breathing room. So even though, yes, I have all these other things that I would like to do, if nothing else gets done, I would love to have these 3 completed on a regular and consistent basis. See how I'm not saying every day, not 100%, because I don't know that maybe someone says, Marianne, we're inviting you for a holiday. Come over, all expenses paid. Guess what? I'm dropping everything if that's the case. Okay, so really important. All right, so how are we going? Are we good? Give me a thumbs up either in the live chat or hit that thumbs up button to let me know you are still here with me. So this is why a mid-month check-in is so important, because if there are things happening that happened in the first 2 weeks of the month, and then okay, that was a top priority for me. I said that was a top priority for me at the beginning of the month. Is it still a top priority? Yes. So what do I need to do to ensure that it is front of mind, that I'm doing my best, that I'm hitting, if not every day, on a consistent basis? And so that's all a mid-month check-in is. It's not to say you have failed. It's not to say that you have scored good at this or bad at this. It's just a good way for you to see visually how well you have progressed. Did you see how I gave myself a pat on the back for doing really well, connecting with loved ones? Because I've worked hard at that. Okay, I have nurtured these lovely, friendships from people across the world, from different states here in Australia. Right? I have worked hard at that because why? Because I know how much joy it brings me, how much it lifts up my mood. When my mood is lifted, I'm not stressed. Those anxious thoughts of self-doubt, negative thinking doesn't creep in as much. I'm not saying it goes away, okay? But it doesn't creep in as much because I am laying down a nice foundation that if and when things are going wrong, things are challenged, my sons may have challenging behaviors, or I'm not doing well, or maybe my husband and I have carer burnout, that the screamings and the little arguments do show up, right? That I am building a foundation where I can bounce back, whether a lot quicker or create a resilience and be more confident in myself and not get so hard on myself that mentally I might break down or those intrusive and low thoughts creep in. Okay, so that's the pattern that I see in myself. So I know that when I'm not conscious and I'm not intentional with creating habits for myself that help me be well emotionally, physically, mentally, finance is such a big stressor in a lot of household, career, are you doing a job that you're enjoying? Or if you're not enjoying it, what other things are balancing it? Okay, this is a really good way for you to go and have a look. And if you're like me, who gets angry, sad, frustrated, lonely, right? What things are you doing to help yourself? And a lot of times we don't see that we need the help because we're already burnt out. Our brain has already switched that decision making, that cognitive thinking, because all it's doing is surviving. And if at the moment all you're doing is surviving, you are still doing a good job. You're still doing enough with the capacity, the energy, and the load that you have. So be kind to yourself. Because for a long time, I wasn't kind to myself. Okay? I would never say the things that I've said to myself to a friend. So we have to flip that switch. Yes, thank you, Michelle. I love it. Yes. Hi, Denise. Yep, excellent. I love that. Okay? So again, when it comes to your own habits and routine, just pick one or two that's that's a top priority. And if things are not going as well, change it up. Change things up. Maybe just change one. It could be just moving it to earlier on in the day or moving it later in the afternoon. And that's for those of you just joining. You're probably for second half of September. I've just moved things around. So you can watch the reason why I'm moving, getting myself outside earlier in the day rather than later at night. Okay, let me just clean up. So that's a mid-month. So let me know in the chat while I'm putting things away here. I've still got a couple of more things. Yes, we're now just top of the hour. Okay, let me just pop that here. So that's why mid-month check-in is important, because if there's things that you can change along the way, don't wait until the end of or the start of a new month to make any changes, because tiny little tweaks can just be done. Okay, right now, doesn't have to be major. All right, so let's have a look. The habit tracker and the mid-month check-in is a great way for you to see your progress. Let me just zoom out a bit. Okay, great way to see your progress. Celebrate your wins, even if it's just one workout. Okay, 2 workouts, cleaning only once or twice, in the week. You'll see your progress. Okay, little visual like this, or a habit tracker. Get to see where you need to improve if the goal still matters for you for the second half of the month. And it's going to help you prioritize what is most important for the moment. Okay, so I'm sure there's lots of other things, but if you know you can only deal with 1 or 2 things, right? Just only deal with 1 or 2 things. It doesn't have to be all or nothing, which I know I used to do. It's like, well, I didn't do as well, so I'll just start in October, or I'll start next Monday. Okay, so that is we talked about changing midway. I updated my mid-month check-in. Now I know what my top priorities are, because yesterday I had a look at this, so I'm already a little bit ahead. So what I did, okay, because my top priorities is really a lot of the movement and getting myself outside, let me move on to the daily planning in my personal size. So I don't know, and let me know if you have seen the unboxing of my Filofax Molden Organizer in the color Vetiver in A5 and in the personal size. So I did an unboxing. So let me know if you have seen that, but by typing in the chat, yes, me, I've seen it. Now, this were gifted to me. So if you haven't seen it, I did the live stream, but I also did do a highlighted version so for those of you that don't have, I know we're already very low on time. It's still 20 minutes long. The highlight version is still a little bit long, but just put it on times 2. It's just so then if you want to know how these Filofax planners. Look inside and what comes with it. If you want to, if you're interested in checking it out, do watch that video, Highlight Filofax Unboxing. I have it in the description below, so you can check that out after this live stream. And because I am swapping things around with regards to my habits and routine, and because when new things happen, my brain is now not automatically, knows what's next, okay? Because it's probably going, you know how when you're like, you know how when you move things around, let's say, if you have a planner desk, right? And you move your pens around, and then you'll either moved it from left to right, and then you go, oh, it's not there anymore. So when you make changes, it's like that. It's your brain automatically will go to the old way. So what I've done is I have, because I know I need all the help I can get in making sure I'm sticking to the new changes I've made. Okay, so what I've done is I've actually written out in my daily planner. So I use the personal planner bundle printable. Let me see if I can pop that in that's that printable. So if you are a personal size planner user, I have daily pages for each day. So Monday, Tuesday. So what I have done, right? So I know that my top priority for the month of September is movement, getting myself outside, getting sunlight, and adding movement to ensure, because I got my result for my blood pressure and have mild hypertension. So movement and sunlight and, energy-wise is going to help me. So what I did is I actually wrote it out, because I know if I just left the prompt as what's in my habit tracker, and of course my habit tracker might be, it's, even though it's on my desk, I work on my personal, I need more help. So if you are doing any changes, you might have to write it out over and over again until it becomes habitual. All right, so because I'm going to feel out of place, I have written out my movement. I made it pretty with, little, I've used my stamps. So here for Monday, right? So morning walk, do an evening stretch, okay? Because I do not trust myself just going off the habit tracker, because it's new, it's out of order. So I need to go and make it visible on my planner. So for Tuesday, morning walk, and then there's some strength day, just squats, push up, just probably maybe zoom in a bit, okay? Just 10, not a lot, just 10, maybe twice. And even if I only do one, I don't repeat it twice, it's still some sort of movement. And then evening stretch. Okay, again, so I have written it again and again and again for the next 7 days until, say here, fun movement, 20 to 30 minutes of light activity, dance or yoga. So these are just things I know I picked up along the way that I like doing, that's easy, right? 15 to 20 minutes of gentle yoga or breathing or stretching, and then evening stretch, all right? So write it down. So what you might go, oh God, I have to write it over and over again. Yes, if it's a new habit or new routine, okay? You haven't created the habitual, nature of, oh, okay, after this, I got to do this after this, because now your brain's going, huh? She changed things around on us. What are we supposed to do next? Okay, so whatever reminder you need, if you want to set up an alarm on your phone, or if you have an Apple Watch, or Post-it notes or sticky notes, remind yourself of these changes and keep them front of mind. All right, so what I've done is, because I'm always looking at my daily planner pages, that's where I put it. I put it on my daily planner pages because I just know myself. I need to be specific, and it has to feel doable. So nice and easy, not like do a 60-minute cardio workout or HIIT workout, HIIT cardio, whatever it's called, right? I know I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to get bored. Well, no, maybe not bored. I'm going to get tired, and I'm going to feel like I've oh, I really don't want to do it. So do something so easy that you cannot say no to it, because it's right in front of you. Okay, it's 5 minutes, that's easy. Or if it's 2 minutes, just do that. Okay, so I've just really important that I need all the prompts to help me, because I don't know who here has heard the habit loop. Okay, so when we create new habits, let me see if I can go and where did I put my Apple Pencil? Okay, I'm just seeing, where is that? That thing is on there. Okay, aha. All right, so when you are when we have new habits, whether we have habits or new, there is a thing called habit loop. Okay, so for a habit to take effect, it needs to have three things. Okay, so three components are: it needs to have a cue or a trigger. Okay, something has to trigger you to do it. So when we wake up in the morning, we go to the bathroom and pee, right? So the cue is waking up in the morning. When the alarm goes off, that's a cue, we wake up. That's the routine. Okay, so routine. So that's the second piece of a habit loop. And then once it's completed, there is a reward. Okay, so for a habit to stick, it needs to have a cue, and then then that will get you to, let me just, oh no, can I get it back? I can't get it back, sorry. Habit loop. Okay, so cue, trigger, routine, and reward. Okay, so cue, then that will make you do the routine, and once you've finished it, you're going to either give yourself a reward or you will get a good feeling, that in itself. And then what happens is, okay, so for me, the cue is my daily planning. It says there, Marianne, go outside for a walk. That's my cue. Okay, so that's the cue there. And then I'll go for a walk, and then I will feel good. But you know what will the reward for me is actually ticking it off my planner. As a planner and as a lover of stationery, the reward is that you get to fill in your habit tracker and tick. You know how when you do a tick, you get that dopamine hit, and sometimes if it's not even on your to-do list, and you've already done it, you will write it down, so then you can just tick it. That's a reward. That gives you that dopamine feeling. And then when you get that dopamine hit, what happens is your brain goes, oh, that was nice. Let's do that again. And then that's when you create the habit loop. But you got to have a cue. You got to have a trigger. Something's got to trigger you to do it. Okay? So because for me at the moment, these are new changes. Okay? These are new changes. I need to write it down. I need to write it down. So for me today, Monday, what's my cue? What's my trigger? I have it written down in my planner. So this is where intentional planning, because I know tomorrow I'll probably be tired. I may not even if I didn't write it down, I'll probably go, yeah, I'll go and walk outside. So that is my cue. And then the routine is, once I get myself outside, well, of course, probably will feel good, because I always feel good after a walk. And then the reward is the feel good. And then I can also mark it on my planner, tick it or complete it. My brain will go, hey, I like that. Let's do that again. So for that habit loop to happen, you've got to do it over and over again. But if you're not giving yourself a clear clue or a clear trigger to do the action, then that's when habits don't form or you're not as effective. All right, so that is what is called a habit loop. So for me, my trigger is put it in front of my face by writing it down over and over and over again until it becomes habitual, or it's a lot easier for me to go, all right, I woke up, drank my water, so did a stretch, do my 11 push-ups. So those two now are actually habit stacking, as in I'll do them next, like one after the other. So it's like that's actually formed as one. I'm going to write in my mood log and journal for a bit, and then I'm going to do a focus block, do a little bit of work. So this is a focus block that I'm doing now. I'm going to do my meditation. I've already actually done that one. I did meditation before I jumped on live. Okay, so that feels good. Okay, I took my vitamins, and then I'm going to do my 5-minute tidy up, and then after that, I'm going to go out, so put my shoes on and go outside for a walk and get that daily sunlight. So for the moment, I'm giving myself as much help as possible to give myself a trigger or a cue to get the action done until I'm good at it. I'm better at it, okay? So if you don't have a strong cue, the loop doesn't even get started. There's nothing that's telling you to do it, okay? So whatever it is for you, give yourself a strong cue or a strong trigger or a strong reminder, planner, alarm, put your shoes and active wear next in the bathroom already. So then, or put your phone away from your bedside table so you're not looking at it first thing in the morning or looking at it last thing at night. Okay? So add it, write it down. And the good thing is because I like using my, planner and my pens and my stamps, it's something that I also like doing. So even writing it down is part of my self-care because I'm intentionally taking the time to write it down in my planner, all right? So really important, create yourself a trigger strong enough to remind you to do the action. Okay, here's another thing that I need to do. Because again, sometimes, you know how when you say something to your husband over and over again and he's still not listening or he still hasn't heard you or he still hasn't done that. So now it's like what I do is I'll send him a text, and then because he looks at his phone a lot, so I'll send him a text, hey, have you done this? Or I'll write a post-it note, or I'll put it in the kitchen, or whatever it is. It's that same sort of thing, right? Do the same for yourself. Remind yourself over and over. So what I have done, okay, because I wanted to do something creative yesterday because I was feeling in a funk, It's like, oh, I didn't get to do my workout. I need to, because then I felt sluggish, right? So what I did is I created myself new do-it-yourself task cards, okay? Or actually, before I do that, so there we go. Okay, so I created myself a new morning routine. So that's all the things that's currently in my habit tracker up until breakfast for morning. And then, and then this one for the afternoon. Okay, they're my afternoon routine. So there's some movement, lunch, fun self-care, light movement, free time, and dinner. So I made that. But before I actually show you that, the other thing that I forgot is, again, I know that I probably 3 days into this writing, I'll probably go, oh, I don't want to do that. So I have written myself each and every day a positive affirmation. I made them bright, I made them bold, right? So then that way, again, it's front of mind, okay? So I can see it right away, okay? Let me quickly, oh, yay, they are so nice. Yeah, I'll show you in a second how you, what they are, because then I forgot about my positive affirmation that I am going to give myself because I need all the, encouragements as much as possible. So I wrote down every day, so progress, not perfection, because I'm going to go, oh, I didn't do this, right? Moves me forward. Every step I take is an investment in my future self. Small daily actions lead to big transformations. I deserve rest, nourishment, and joy. Okay, so I know that if I rest or anything like that, that it's part of, the self-care. This for Friday. I'm not starting over. I'm continuing my journey. Health is my priority and I'm worth the effort. Okay, So these are little lovely, kind, friendly talks that I know I'm going to need, because I know Thursday, Friday, I'm probably going to go, I don't want to do that. I want to go outside. I just want to sit on the couch, right? Consistency is my strength, even in small doses. So they're going to cheer me on and encourage me and help me keep going as I build this new flow, right? Because I've changed things up. So let me know, do you write yourself positive affirmations in your planner? So if you say it to yourself, fantastic. So one of the things that I'm doing now, that I heard from Mel Robbins, 8 things you should do in the morning, is, which I started doing before that, was good things are going to come my way. Good things are going to come my way. Good things are going to come my way. And then the night before, tomorrow, good things are coming. And they do. And the good things are not like your big things like money or anything, but just little things. I think Susan from my Plannerets Inner Circle says surprise blessings. You'll find these tiny little surprise blessings, because that's what you're telling yourself to focus on. So let me know what it is. Or do you write yourself positive affirmations in your planner? Or are you saying it to yourself? Because it's only recently that I'm starting to believe these positive affirmations, and reframing and flipping the switch, the negative talk to positive talk. It does help, okay? Oh my goodness, but I don't want to, don't feel. Yes, that's me. I know I have to. And, my habit tracker shows that I said, oh, I'm going to do Pilates workout. And I'm like gung-ho first day, 2 days, maybe 3 days. And then, I don't want to. So I'm going to talk to myself, Marianne, progress, not perfection, even if I just do 2 minutes. Okay, so let me know, do you write yourself positive affirmations in your planner, or some kind things that you say to yourself? Because it does make a difference. And make it big, make it bold. I actually, yesterday, where was I? Daiso. Of course, every time I go to Daiso, I find something new that I probably don't need, but I want to get it. So these are little, they're not stickers. I thought they were stickers. All right, so just little cardstock speech bubbles. So I thought, oh, perfect, right? That can go in my planner. So then I could write myself little positive affirmations. Look at that. Or you can just draw it, draw a nice little speech bubble or thought bubble in your planner. Okay. Yes, I love that, Tracy. I sometimes do positive quotes. Yes, and it makes you use up your, markers and pens along the way. And of course, that is part of self-care and mindfulness. So I bought myself little speech bubbles. I thought they were little stickers, but they're just little cardstock, so I can just glue them on. All right, so that's one of the ways that current me, is going to help future me stick to the habits. But here's the fun crafty thing I did yesterday. Okay, so I made myself some new do-it-yourself task cards. Again, it's whatever, it's what I have written in my, let's focus, I have written my habit tracker. So my habit tracker is in my A5, but what I'm going to do to keep this top of mind is I've got my clear divider tab, and I've got a magnetic clip there. So I'm just going to have them there. Okay, so then that way, front of mind. Okay, things that go, oh, what's next? Oh, Marianne, have you done this? No. Have you done that? Oh, yes, I better do that. Have you done this? So it helps give me the cue, or give me the trigger to do the next thing that I said I would like to do, to ensure I'm creating balance for myself. And even things here for my afternoon routine. What's my afternoon routine? Where's the fun? Fun, self-care, like coloring in or dancing or singing. And then even here, free time. So I've given myself free time because why? I'm going to allow some breathing space for myself. So even if I'm overworked or something else comes up, I can use that free time either for me or for the things I may not have actioned earlier on in the day because something else took a higher priority. So these do-it-yourself task cards are a low-cost, crafty way for you to make your habits fun and visible, okay? And the real benefit is they act as strong cue, strong trigger, strong prompt, something you can see and hold on to, okay? So it's tangible. And so we'll share. I got a runny nose. So the way I use them now is I use them just as card or prompt. But what you can do, if there's something that you know, like let's say movement, so instead of writing it over and over again in your planner, what you can do with these task cards, so this is an offcut from a laminated sheet because we're a homeschooling, household. So any little offcuts are from a laminated sheet with nothing inside. But you can get any plastic sheeting, like kids' toys or any packaging. Cut it to credit card size. These are sticky note flags. And then I use my label maker to make these little labels. So instead of writing it like I have here, what you can just do is add it. So let's say this is a new week, okay? So let's go, yep, today movement. So that's one way you can use the sticky note flag from your habit tracker. But I don't use that anymore that way because I quite like the aesthetic feel of the card. So then I just put that and clip that on my divider tab for today. So it's front of mind, it's visible, it's colorful, it's pretty, okay? And then it's going to remind me to do the things that I said to do exactly when I need to do it, okay? So so many things I'm giving myself that I cannot go and say no. I'll probably still say no to it, but it's more likely that I say yes if I have all these little prompts that can help me. So these are the extra nudge front and center to help me follow through. And the best part is you can make these yourself. Okay, let me see. What else may I say? All right, so I actually have okay, so this I think a couple of years ago, but still, I show you how I make the do-it-yourself planner task card. The link is in the description and I'll make sure to add it at the end of this live stream. So you can either use sticky note flags like I have here, or you can even, you can even just print it. If you have Canva, you can get yourself, colorful rectangles and write all the different habits and routines that you have. I think this is through in inches. Only in inches because I know from my paper trimmer 3 3/8 and 2 1/8. But I have in this video here the exact dimensions. So it's really just a credit card size. Okay, so then they fit nicely into your if you have a like a what do you call this, pockets, little card pockets, or you can have it on here, but I am keeping them on my clear divider tabs. Okay, so you can make them yourself with just either laminated sheet, cardstock, plastic packaging, sticky note flags. And if you don't have a label maker, you can just write it. Okay, you can with these sticky notes, you can have these sticky notes are the shiny ones, but there's some paper ones, and then you can just write your beautiful writing. You can write down AM routine, get outside, whatever. So you don't have to have a label maker. So a lot of times I know, when there's how-to videos, and then they tell you, you have to have this and you have to have that. If you don't have that, be creative, think outside of the box. Write out your habits, cut the sheet into cards, use sticky note flags, or just type it on your Word document and just put a little rectangle so it's kept there. Have a little outline or border so you know exactly where to cut them. They're, quick to make and easy to swap around if your routine does change, because then you can go and change them around, if you want to do something else instead of admin, take that off and get a new sticky note flag and relabel it. Okay, so they give you that visual reminder to keep your habits flowing. And so, yeah, so make sure to check that video. Okay, I do have other videos as well on but that's probably the shortest one and most succinct. Now, just do be mindful, it was 2 years ago, and back then my camera, it felt like I was like right in front of the camera. So do not get scared by that. Yes, and you can also buy card size laminating pouches. Yes, so because we have we are a laminating household, homeschool household, and we I used to make a lot of visuals for my sons, because he's a visual learner. So lots of offcuts. So I keep them because I always have all these different crafts and routines. Hi, Mary Ellie. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I've loved the idea of task cards, but never gave it a go. Thanks for the reminder and inspo. Yeah, so this was the idea and inspiration was from Maddie Plans of Instagram. So I did, I quoted her, or what's the word? I highlighted her in this video as well. So what a lovely idea. But yeah, so I use mine now as just for the card, so I don't move the sticky flags around or keep them, move them from plan to plan. Okay, so the description, of course, is the link to that video is in the description below. So let me know, will you try making these do-it-yourself task cards? I think my video, I'm quite proud. I think that video is, well thought out, nice and easy, all step by step. So let me know in the chat or in the comment section if you are watching on replay, if you are going to try, first of all, making do-it-yourself task card, and have you seen my Filofax video? Credited. Thank you, Angela. Geez, see my brain fog. I love when you guys help me with these things, because I'm like, it's on the tip of my tongue. Yep. Thank you, Angela. How are you? Nice to see you. Thank you so much for helping me out so much. All right. So now, anything else? Let me see. What else have we got? Let me know if you do have any questions. All right. So let us do a quick recap. Okay. Where's my quick recap? All right. So no, I think this one. All right. So what did we do today? Now we're getting to the top of the 2-hour mark nearly. Today we talked about how sometimes habits don't stick, not because you're failing, but because the order that they're at might just need a tweak. Okay, instead of evening, you might have to move it earlier in the day, or vice versa, or make it smaller. Instead of 30 minutes, maybe do 5 minutes. So make small adjustments. Don't ever think that you are failing. Okay, it's just the system that you're using at the moment may not be working for you in your current season or current capacity and energy. All right, you're good. Thank you. I love it. Thank you for helping me out. And so glad that you are well as well. Okay, so we looked at why moving my get outside habit to the morning can boost my energy and hopefully, of course, improve my sleep, and then look after my heart health. And before I go see my doctor next week, at least not wait. All right. So again, this is when we talk about not waiting for a new week, not waiting for a new month, or not waiting until I see my doctor, because even though, of course, we need to make sure we seek medical experts when it comes to any changes, but these are, small things. I'm not going to go run a marathon, right? I'm going to just walk briskly, not running or anything like that. So I'm not putting too much strain. So really important that if you are making any changes to your health, seek medical advice first. But, these are things that I did the Google thing too. I made sure that, what can I do in the meantime? All right. So we also talked about mid-month check-in to see how well you're going with the habits and routines. If you created habits and routines for yourself at the beginning of September, how are you going with it? I showed you my mid-month check-in and coloring in the wheel of life. So then I can just see from a bird's eye view which habits and routine that I need to make top priorities for the second half of the month. And then I also showed you adding your new habits and routines until it gets, ingrained. Give yourself reminders, write it again and again in your planner, and then give yourself encouragement by writing down positive affirmations, things that's going to help boost your motivation or discipline, or give yourself kind words, okay? And not fall into the trap of thinking that you're no good, you're not doing enough, or see, I failed, right? Because that's the dialogue that I'm sure a lot of us have been telling ourselves over and over again. And then I also showed you that I have created myself new habits and routine task cards, do-it-yourself task cards to help remind me to get, make those cues and triggers strong, so then I can action it and then create habit loops for my habits and routines to be more effective and stick, okay? Time flies when you spend it with Marianne. I know sometimes I go, oh my God, I didn't know I could talk so much. Well, my husband probably knows, yes, I can talk a lot. I'm highly considering using task cards too. So we watch the replay. Yes, so I have this video right here and many other ones. I'll also add the other playlist as well, because I think this one is brief, but then the other ones go through, how I use the laminating machine, how I cut the laminated cards, and how I round off the corners. So I'll make sure to also do the other videos if you, for those who may want to start off from the start. Me too, Angela. I think it's time to finally give it a go. And it's so nice. Yeah, it's a lovely little crafty thing to do. And the other things that I have on here is, my get things done checklist. So when I'm reviewing the end of the week and other things to do, what else do I have here? Self-care ideas. Okay, before I made the self-care bingo card, self-care ideas, and then how I choose my top 3 priorities, gentle planning, one must do, one recharge moment, one win. So these are the things, anytime I have, new routines that I need all the help to remind me of the different steps. It's just like, when you are baking a new recipe, okay? You follow the ingredients, you follow the step-by-steps until you know already, for a lot of you probably who are bakers and make, your chocolate cake, a lot of the times exactly how many cups of flour, how much sugar, how long to beat the butter for, right? But you would have had at the beginning had to have started with the recipe, so then the ingredients that would go on it. It's the same way until it becomes ingrained in your head on, after this, I'm going to go and put my shoes on and go out for a walk. All right, so that's the habit do-it-yourself task cards that can make new routines more fun. It's going to be more visible, okay, because I'm putting it in my little divided tab for today, and it's going to be easier to follow along. Whew. Let me, hang on. Ronnie Cat says, very enjoyable live stream as usual. Sometimes I go on, I go thinking the night before or the Saturday before, I'm just going to wing it, right? I'm just going to go on and just wing whatever. I'm just going to show exactly how I plan, and I'm going to jump here, jump there. But I know that's not the way my brain works. See, for even my own live streams, I need structure. I need a recipe. I need the ingredients of what needs to go on, because I'm a learner that needs step by step. And that is why I don't know who has subscribed to my email newsletter. I do well when there's challenges, this step by step guide, that there's a clear path that I need to go from here to here. And then I thought, okay, what areas in your life, Marianne, are you not creating a step by step path? And that was my movement, because probably a few years back, Mum and I did boot camp. They're like exercise boot camp. We'd wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. We'd go to the park and do a 45-minute boot camp with the trainer and, many other ladies who also wanted to have fitness and health as a top priority. We did that 3 times a week, even when it was raining. So we did it for a whole year. And then, of course, at the end, we went, well, we now know what to do. Do we know? Yes, we know what to do, but it's not about knowing what to do. It's about having the accountability. It's about having the steps to follow, because when your brain is not working, whether you're overwhelmed, you're stressed, you're anxious, or you're burnt out, you need all the help you can get, whether it's writing it in your planner, habit tracker, visual trackers, do-it-yourself prompt cards, whatever you need to make, phone, alarms, sticky note flags, okay? Whatever it is that you need to do to help you put the top priority that you say matter to you right now in this moment, because things have changed, okay? Help yourself. Help your future self create success. Just telling yourself, positive affirmations, okay? So thank you so much for hanging out with me on this wonderful live stream. I always enjoy my Monday, most of your Sunday or Sunday afternoon or evening. Okay, so it's such a wonderful time. Remember, planning is not about perfection. It's about adjusting until it works for you. So if you at the moment are having a difficult time, review it. What needs to change? And any changes you make it small, make it tiny, make it doable. So then it's so much easier for you to action it when your maybe energy level is not as high, or if you're not as well physically, mentally, or emotionally. Okay, so don't forget to like this live stream, please. I would appreciate you so much. And of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you do, so then that way you know when I go on live just like this, or when I upload podcasts and all my different content here on YouTube. And check the description for that, the link to that do-it-yourself prompt card and all the resources. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Okay, let's go. I'm chasing